So Eric, you're just back from London, a very special gig over there, I believe.
Yeah, dude, I was away and went to see Linkin Park in Wembley, and yeah, it was a serious gig. I have to say, it's probably one of the biggest gigs I've ever attended in my life, and it was a spectacle to see and hear.
Yeah, I've never been
Really
in
enjoyed
Wembley
it.
myself. I was outside it when I was in London a couple of years ago, but I've
Yeah,
never been actually inside. But even from outside, it looks immense. Like it's kind of hard to fathom how big that stadium is.
oh yeah, I'll send you on a video. You can clip it in, as we're talking. But man, like I mean, it was just one of the biggest gigs I've ever been to in terms of capacity. Just the whole spectacle. Everything in London is on a great scale, in a way. But you get the tube out to it, and it's a purpose-built train state or underground station to walk up to the concert, and it's just humongous. It's massive. Loads of pubs, loads of places to eat. We pulled into Box Park, I think it was. If you're ever going to a gig there, go to there. There was a cover band on beforehand. They're playing like all like the new metal stuff. It was well up my street. And then made my way over to see Spirit Box are opening for Linkin Park. They're
Oh,
pretty
very good.
cool. Yeah,
I
Spirit
heard
Box.
about them. They're pretty good, are
Yeah, they're
they?
pretty good, man. They're actually really good. Now their sound is a bit washed in the arena, to be honest. I'd say if you went to see them in like a smaller venue, the sound would be much better. But the songs that they were playing, they're really heavy and melodic and stuff. So they're really cool. They have a female vocalist as well, and she was fucking screaming her head off. Really, really cool. And then yeah, Linkin Park started. They played literally, I think it was about an hour and 40, maybe an hour and 50 minutes. And you had something from the early stuff, the new stuff, all mixed in. Every single song was a hit, kind of way. Like there's not one song they play you don't know. It's just a fantastic set list. The light show was incredible. Emily Armstrong, new singer for Linkin Park, she was just immense. Like she was an incredible singer. The sound, I'll be honest, like the sound wasn't the best I'd ever heard. It's like being a Croker or a Viva. It's just a huge place, and the sound is going to be a little washed. But it's what you make of it. And myself and my wife went, and it was just an amazing day. Like literally starting mosh pits everywhere, and it's just fantastic, man. I really, really enjoyed it. I have to say, I loved every minute of it.
Brilliant.
I'd love to ask you, Eric, the fact that Emily now is, she's well into her career as the lead singer now as Linkin Park. Do you feel like she's getting to find her feet and I felt like when I first heard some of her stuff, she was trying too hard to be Chester. Is she
Yeah,
starting to kind of give her own take on the songs, or is she still kind of,
I completely disagree, man. I love their new album. I think every song on the album is fantastic. Every song is a single they could release. I don't think she tries to mimic Chester. She does her own thing. She has her own entity in the band. She's never going to replace Chester. Let's
no?
be real. There's nobody that's going to step into them shoes. But she's a fantastic new kind of. She's a new era of the band. She brings really good screaming, really good singing. She brings a great atmosphere, and she's like full on with the crowd and giving it loads and stuff. So, I personally think she's a perfect fit. Like it would have been different if they got another male vocalist in trying to, you know, re whatever, trying to copy or mimic what Chester done. People would have been like, "What's this all about?" But I think the fact that they brought a female vocalist in, it was kind of a way for them to start from zero. No pun intended. Like they literally went back to the roots, and still have the same sound, but it's evolved, and they have now the female
Yeah,
vocalist, which adds a new element to it.
yeah, that's why like when I first heard the album, me personally, and obviously everyone takes their own take on different music, but I felt that she was a little bit right. But then the last time that I watched them live, I caught them at the Champions League final, right?
Yeah,
And I thought they were unbelievable. I thought she
yeah,
was amazing,
oh yeah,
and I really felt at the time, and I know there was kind of not backlash, but ticket sales mightn't have been going as well as they hoped and stuff, and it almost was like a showcase event. Like, look, this is how good we are, and
yeah.
they nailed it on that one. I really think they did. So I can only imagine what Wembley was like.
It was incredible, man. I have to say, it's one of those things you have to be there to experience it. Like
Cool.
words can't put it into, like we've all been to big, massive gigs, but when you get to a place the size of Wembley and the place you're just surrounded by people and people who love the same music as well, it's just a great atmosphere, great buzz. Like I got there, I got chatting to everybody. I was starting mosh pits with everyone. It was brilliant. Like, and everybody was up for the crack at the same time. So I was well in my zone there.
Any highlights of songs? Any?
I definitely say I love the new stuff actually. I really, really enjoyed it, but particularly now I love stuff off the first album, Hybrid Theory.
Yeah, it's
They
great.
played Paper Cut towards the end, just at the encore. That was unreal. What else? They threw in a new song a song from their new album. They haven't played it anywhere else, or at least I don't think they have. But it's called Cut the Bridge. They threw that in, and that was just unreal. It was unbelievable. I was just let loose for that, I just gone mad. One Step Closer, class song,
Yeah.
Uh, so many good songs there. Like they've got so many hits, you know what I mean? Like, but the light show they brought was incredible as well. Like, you know what I mean? It was just lasers everywhere, and it was just unreal. It
And
was.
was it dark, Eric, when they were on, or was it still quite?
No, it was actually it was a gorgeous day. It was a lovely summer's day. You couldn't have asked for a nicer day. The sun was beaming down. I think the sun kind of went, sun was starting to set around probably 9 or 10 o'clock, and you kind of got the last kind of, I'd say, the last quarter of the show, which is you could see the lights at its best, like that, a summer gig, you're always gonna get that,
Yeah.
but it's certainly if Metallica ever do a gig or something, lads, you just have to go over to Wembley and experience it. It's really cool. It's
Yeah, I got to it once for a soccer game, the championship playoff final, and I remember sitting there just going, "This is just humongous," you know. But
yeah.
I'd imagine there was a lot of international fans there too, Eric. I'd say there was a
Oh
lot.
yeah, yeah. I mean, on like there were so many events actually happening in London that weekend. Right, we were there on the Saturday. There was Iron Maiden playing the same night. There was Zach Bryan playing the same night in another arena or another stadium. I mean, like there was gigs on everywhere. London is
Yeah,
always happening. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
like,
It doesn't matter in London. That's what I find. If
yeah.
if there's if there's two gigs in one weekend in Dublin and an All Ireland semi final or something, the whole place just grinds to a halt. It's a
Oh
disaster.
yeah,
But
yeah.
in London, like there actually is something happening
Oh,
every weekend anyway.
everything's moving everywhere,
Yeah.
But like that, we took the underground around everywhere. We went to Camden that day. We went to Spitalfields. We were all over London, But like that on the way home, then going to the airport, there was people from Brazil, there was people from Poland, there's people from everywhere. They're all wearing the Linkin Park t-shirt. You knew they were at the gig, They're all watching back the video footage from the previous gig and all, or the night before. So yeah, it was a lot of people there.
How would the gig rank in your gigs so far this year?
I've seen a lot of good gigs this year. I'll be honest. It's probably is the top gig. Just in terms of the spectacle, it was just something special to see and experience. The sound wasn't the best, but that didn't matter because I was
Yeah.
just having the time of my life. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I was just singing every song, probably crying at one stage. It's just one of those types of gigs you just let loose and let your hair down and enjoy yourself. So it was up there for one of the best gigs I've been at this year, certainly.
Brilliant. Great to hear.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Cool. You can see you really enjoyed it at the passion on your face there,
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, they're one of your favorite bands since I've
They
known
are,
you,
yeah.
Linkin
Yeah, yeah.
Park. Yeah, so
Oh,
like
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
that's great you got to see them. I was a little bit disappointed they didn't actually play Ireland on this tour, because I think they would have sold out the Tree Arena no problem.
Oh, absolutely. Did I saw the 2 or 3 nights in there, no bother, and I probably would have been at every one of them. No bother. Like I'd go see them a few nights. Who knows? They apparently they cancelled their gig in Switzerland for some bizarre reason. But
Okay.
I seen there they announced a date for next summer. So I'd say they probably have another summer tour on the cards for next year. Who knows? You might get a bit more Europe. You might get a bit of download. I'd say it's all
Yeah,
marked.
good. That's a good call, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I'd say it's
them
all
the
marked.
headlight download would be a good call, Eric. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
there's no Glastonbury next year. I think they might
that's
be a
right.
bit
Yeah.
too heavy for Glastonbury, but yeah. Yeah, man, that was a great take, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Brilliant.
So yeah, go see Linkin Park if they're pulling into a town near you. They're rocking.